Hey, this is Matt once again with about to the video, and this is a paid request for Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. And Masi wanted me to look into an episode of, I want to say a TV show, but I think there's only like 6 episodes. But there's episode 1 of something on Netflix called The Perfect Couple, which I guess is based on a book, I guess. Never read it. The only people I recognize, Nicole Kidman, who's, from The Others and Days of Thunder, various movies. Liev Schreiber, who was in Scream 2, Scream 3. He was in this film called Sphere. The Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington. I think he was in that. You have Dakota Fanning, which has been a while since I've seen her. She plays pretty much a foul-mouthed pregnant woman in this. And I did not like this at all. I did not like this at all. I thought this is really annoying to watch. Because the premise is, it's a murder mystery involving a bunch of people I didn't give a fuck about. At least not in this episode. So it takes place in Nantucket, Massachusetts. Beautiful vistas, beach land, like beautiful location. Good looking. So top notch on the locations and the way it was shot. These two people, Benji and Amelia, it's their rehearsal dinner because they're getting ready to be married. It's mostly Benji's family. The dad being Liev Schreiber, the mom being Nicole Kidman. But then Amelia's mom and dad finally show up, and then her buddy, who's the maid of honor, she shows up. And it starts weird because it starts off, we're kind of thrown into these characters, and you're wondering, who are they, what do they have to do with this, what are they entailing with? And then within like 4 minutes, there's been a murder. Like literally within 4 or 5 minutes, there's been a murder where the chief, played by a guy named Michael Beach, which I know I've seen him in other stuff. Because I did recognize him. I can't remember where though. Might have been some TV shows. I can't remember. But so it goes from him and this lady from the, I don't know, it was the FBI, some of the DA sent by. They're interviewing folks. They interview the wedding planner. They interview Dakota Fanning. They interview the maid, who I think may be Russian. They interview this other lady who had a very thick accent. Like every other character had a thick-ass accent. That's what this should be called, the imperfect accent. So it goes from interviewing those folks and then goes into what happened the day before. Where they backtrack. What led up to that death. Only, again, you don't know who killed the person, because that's part of the thing. It's a murder mystery. But, I mean, there's so many characters to try to keep tabs on. And granted, this is only the first episode, but what I gather is that Amelia worked at a zoo and met Benji, and they fell in love. Benji has like 2 brothers. One just got dumped and he's the younger guy. One is seems to be a bit more of a dick, who has financial problems and is asking his dad to bail him out. Liev Schreiber is kind of the guy that everybody likes. I think he's the one who Dakota Fanning in the interview, like when she's interviewed, calls him a DILF. For those who don't know, that means dad that you like to fuck. Which, I never thought, it's kind of strange. I keep thinking of Dakota Fanning from Man on Fire, War of the Worlds, and now she's playing a pregnant person who says stuff like DILF. It takes my mind a bit to work around that. You mean the age? I know, I just... Anyway. But I don't give a shit about the characters. I mean, the actress playing Amelia seems fine, but I'm indifferent at most about her character. Nicole Kidman, I'm more looking at her face and listen to her accent. Because sometimes her accent is there, sometimes it's not, and it's okay she's being like a British lady. But I swear that accent's not always there. And her face, what the fuck happened to Nicole Kidman? She looks like Barbie. Like she took the plastic face of Barbie, the face off, onto her face. She looks plastic. Like, I go, hello? Is she the House of Wax? What happened? Is that her, or is that the Wax Museum version of her? She looked awful. Terrible plastic surgery. I'm sure there are people telling these ladies, hey, they're not going to cast people with wrinkles. They're not going to cast people. I'm like, fuck them. I mean, if we can have movies where Bob Odenkirk is an action star, like in Nobody, I think we could buy, women, having a wrinkle or two, being in other roles. Stop with the plastic surgery. It never looks better. It always looks worse. It looks terrible. It really is like that scene from Escape from L.A. where Bruce Campbell do the Surgeon General. What a beautiful blue eye. Shame there's only one. Stop with the plastic surgery shit. Please. But this came out in 2024. I don't know when Nicole Kidman had that done to herself. It was a mistake. It was a terrible mistake. So I just kept noticing her horrible plastic surgery. Miss Wax Museum. The humor when it tries, I didn't think it was funny. The guy who's the wedding planner, when he's being interviewed, I know I've seen this guy before. I can't remember his name, but I know I've seen him before. He'll say stuff like, oh, they're rich. They're the, I'm bored, let's buy a monkey rich. Probably the only, well, to be fair, he's the only one that got a chuckle out of me throughout the entire episode. They're talking about this one character and people giving their views, and he goes, well, I know one thing. I never fucked her. That kind of got a laugh out of me. But just like the other pieces of dialogue, I think it's Dakota Fanning talking about a character, oh yeah, but, or someone's like, yeah, but she rubs one out to his baby picture. Everyone's like a douchebag. Like, who the hell am I supposed to root for? Except Amelia, that's just... It's not her acting, it's just so far a bland character. She's getting married, but then she has doubts on getting married. And the maid of honor even asked her, are you sure you want to do this, or are you doing it for your mom? She's like, yes, I'm sure, but you're so sure you're trying. That's how sure you are. And the Russian maid is trying to be funny, but to me, I never thought she was funny. Nicole is obsessed with this bracelet that was given to her by, I think, her husband, and it cost like $18,000. But she doesn't have the bracelet, so I don't know if she's cheating on her husband or it's for someone else. It seemed like she sold it or gave it or something. She doesn't have it. There's some animosity between Nicole Kidman and the bride-to-be, Amelia, where Nicole Kidman will be passive-aggressive towards her. Like Amelia's trying to eat like a bagel or something, and Nicole's like, huh? Hope you way to ruin the wedding dress. Yeah, they did passive-aggressive stuff. For some reason, the intro Like the episode plays out, then they show the intro. It's everybody dancing like it's a Bollywood movie, which is so against. Maybe that's the point, is to show that these folks are so out of touch with anything that even for this intro they'll just do this goofy synchronized dance like it's Bollywood, and that's so out of touch they are. But I just didn't think it was that witty of an episode. I didn't think it was that funny of an episode. I didn't really care about the characters, and I felt like there were so many I'm trying to keep tabs on. And the only thing I could think of is it's before the wedding, and they're dancing to "You Sexy Thing, Sexy Thing. I believe in miracles." Well, do you believe in good strips? Because you don't have one here. I don't know if the source material is this bad or not, but just, why should I give a rat's ass? I don't think they really did that good of a job of trying to lay out, okay, maybe this person hates this person, maybe this person hates this person. So I don't really think they did really an intriguing way to set up its mystery. The way it's structured, where, again, you're thrust into these characters, then the murder happens, then we're investigating, then we go back to try to have the build-up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you having the timeline so messed up like this? So it just seems more convoluted than it should be. You're not Tarantino to just try to mess up around the timeline. But by the end, we're back to where we're at, so obviously they don't do that. I would assume in the future they don't. But it just felt like an unneeded thing to do in this instance. And the interviews are just people like trying to be funny. Again, the wedding planner being kind of, limp-wristed and, hey, how's it going? And Dakota Fanning being pregnant and wise ass, and the one lady, I forget who she was, with the thick accent. I don't know if they call it slut, but I guess it's just slut. Instead of slut, she's like, slut. And then the Russian maid, how dare that woman wash my dishes? I don't go to her zoo and feed her animals. I'm like, okay, so you're a bitch too. Like, is everybody like bitch, an asshole? I don't care. How about, you all these characters die, and I'm the murderer. There you go, mystery solved. I'm the murderer, except maybe Lee Schreiber. He can live, but everybody else can die. Because Lee Schreiber's like the only, so far, kind of normal guy. Just the head of a household who seems like he loves his wife and hits a bit of golf. That's really all you get from him in this episode. So I don't know if Masi read the book. I don't know. Maybe he found something in this that I didn't. Teach their own. But I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't hear any publicity for this, and I never heard anybody talk about this show. So I don't know if that's my head is just in the sand. Could very well be. Or it wasn't that popular of a show. Like the Penguin, I've heard people talk about, and by this point I've seen 3 episodes. Because frame by frame, he requested episode 2 and 3. I watched them. I just have to review them. I like that so far. And that's a new show. But this, so far, not for me. That's just me, though. So with that said, if you want to see a lot of rich douchebags being douchey, here's your sign. My biggest takeaway is, what the fuck happened to Nicole Kidman? If I remember, I'll probably put that in the title. God. Just her face, like alien. Not that alien, but just stop with the plastic surgery. God, it does not improve. It makes you look like an alien. Fuck the Barbie. And not in the ass. In the insemination process, and this is the result. An alien made of wax. Anyway, thanks for watching. I guess if they do a House of Wax another remake, they know who to cast. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.